Hello, 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 everybody. I am Stephanie D. Sanders, and this is Docu-Series, the autobiography of some very interesting people. And I had to bring this guy on here. I don't even know how we met. Don't even remember.
I
Don't even
don't remember
care. But he has been an inspiration to me in different ways. And I just wanted to bring him on here so he can enlighten people who he is, what he does, and all of that. But first, I just wanted to clear up some things. I know they call you Rob Diggy, but I know your mama named you something else. How did
Robert
you,
Morrison.
how'd you go about getting that name though, Rob Diggy? Where'd that come from, Robert Morrison?
Diggy came from first of all, thank you, Stephanie, for having me on the show.
You're welcome.
And Diggy is an old name that I just picked up from a DJ here in Chicago. And I used to be Rob Dog all through high school and college.
Okay.
Y'all call me Rob Dog. Some of my old classic friends still call me Rob Dog and through college. But,
Hmm.
but it was when I graduated and came back to Chicago, then Rob Dog was still there. But then the guy was like, "Oh, we got to change that name. We got to give you a different name." So he gave me Rob Diggy, and it stuck. Hmm. Yep, it stuck.
Well, I was over here. You know what? I'm just gonna be transparent right now. Um, I was over here catching a hot flash. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to be real.
I don't know nothing about that.
You don't know nothing about it, but I was trying to find a piece of paper, a postcard, or something that you don't want to know, Ron. But that's for the real folks out there. That's what was happening. I had to take a moment there, and I might start to take another one. But other than that, I am so grateful that you're talking to us and you was telling us your little nickname and so forth. But Rob, who was Rob back in the day though? Before we get into the whole music side of things.
Rob was just an average guy that liked to play softball and baseball, and we used to play a game called Strike 'em Out, where you
Hmm.
put the plate up to the wall and you throw the ball up against the wall, and you have to try to hit it in this box, a strike box. And three strikes and you out. So we played Strike 'em Out, we played kickball, we played
Oh yes.
volleyball, we basketball. I was just an average kid, but
Hmm.
when I came in the evenings, that was music.
Now, who was in the house playing music, or did you just kind of gravitate?
Mama would play music. My dad was a singer,
Okay.
but there was music throughout the household. You know,
Hmm.
Jerry, the impressions, the old school songs. You know,
Hmm. Hmm.
and listen to that, the old Motown, Philadelphia sound. So all of those sounds or songs culminated in me understanding a little bit more about music. Mm.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's that's what it was daily until we started picking up the instruments and learning how to play, you know? Mm.
And about what age was that?
Oh, about 10, 11.
You know what? I think I was around that too when I said I wanted to play the recorder. The
Yeah.
recorder, that was the first thing that they introduced us to in elementary school.
We never had instruments in school, so I didn't
Oh,
know
okay.
I didn't know
Wow.
anything about that until high school.
Mhm. Okay.
So high school was my first taste of music education in terms of instrument.
So when you actually picked it up, did you just go gung ho with it, or did it
Gung-ho,
just
gung-ho.
develop over the whole time while you were in high school?
I just jumped on it and jumped right into playing. I was already playing guitar at 10, 11.
Hmm.
When I got to high school, I started playing trombone
Okay.
and I just picked it up.
Wow. And who would
I,
you say were some of your like biggest influences so far musically once you actually did jump in there?
Earth, Wind and Fire. That was
Oh
my first
yeah.
album out of high school. I mean, in the high school I bought James Brown, a lot of the Rick James, because a lot of those songs or artists I mentioned had a lot of horns in their song.
Yes.
Quincy Jones had a lot of different horn parts and stuff. So Michael Jackson had a lot of stuff in it. So I learned, I was listening to parts and I could mimic those parts with the drop of a dime like really fast, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that was how I got my training. And then I was talking to a good friend of mine, and we were talking about how we never had formal training. Our
Yes.
training came from Warner Brothers cartoons, the Bugs Bunny show cartoons on weekdays. You get up eating your breakfast cereal
Yes.
and you're hearing dun 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 bum bum,
Yes. Oh, yes.
all those types of rhythms and melodies and stuff. I picked up on, and he said he did too. So
Mm-hmm.
those are
Mm-hmm.
one of our ways that we learn quick. Hmm.
Wow. So by the time you graduated from high school, did you know that that was a lane that you wanted to go in and stay in, or did you try something else first?
I didn't. I got a band scholarship, music scholarship at 18, of course,
Mm-hmm.
and that was to the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. And I had some other offers, Bethune-Cookman, Delaware State, Louisiana. But I chose Arkansas because all my friends were going there, and I knew I
Mm-hmm.
would probably have a safer time or at least comfortable time
Yeah.
at that
Yeah.
school, uh,
Mm-hmm.
being there with my friends already. And
Mm-hmm.
it definitely worked out that we were already a family from one high school. So I didn't want to go into music. I didn't even major in music. I majored in communication, speech, and theater,
Okay.
public
Okay.
speaking, things like that.
Me too.
Yes, I didn't want to do music full time. It was just something to get me through. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Mm-hmm.
had aspirations of um, doing tech work for television, cameras and things like that.
Mm. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Hmm.
I knew we had a connection there. I knew it was there.
Hmm.
That whole communications thing. So then
Hmm.
after that, you kind of did the communications thing. When did you decide to just pop over there and do this music thing full time? Or did somebody pick you up or what?
I
Because
was
we tried
already,
it.
well, I was already doing music. Like when I got home from college, even in college, I was progressing to be like a producer arranger. I was
Okay.
I was getting myself ready, but didn't know what I was getting ready for.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
'Cause- and I believe the turning point, and I got to call this guy today too. I believe the turning point was a friend of mine who was on spring break. We were on spring break at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Hey man, I'm coming home, and you want to come home with me, and I want you to meet this guy. The guy had a full studio in his house, and it looked like something off the Starship Enterprise, and all these buttons and knobs, and I was fascinated and blown away, and that
Wow.
was probably one of the turning points. And this guy's name is Andre Miller. He's like my dad, like my mentor,
Oh.
music dad, and he
Mm-hmm.
taught me so much about arranging and composing, and we still keep in touch to this day. And in fact, the computer I'm on now, he gave it to me, the laptop
What? Look at that.
in the
Look
back.
at that. You
Mhm.
never know how people are going to touch our lives and the things that they do and what we're doing. You just never know. Because I would have never thought that I would have met you down the road somewhere here. And you've really been instrumental in giving me little tips and tidbits here and there to kind of get me going and keep moving forward. So, but then lo and behold, Mr. Diggy
Yeah,
bust out and messed around and got himself
yeah,
an
yeah.
award that we all seek after if you are in this thing, for real. Mr.
Uh-huh.
Diggy got him a Grammy. Yes, sir. Tell us
Grammy.
about that whole experience.
It's really not much to tell. You go into the studio and you don't work for the Grammy. You just work.
Yes.
So I went in the studio after work, and I started because I started teaching school after college.
Hmm.
I would just go because I had met a group of guys that wanted me to always play session work. I was a piano player, and it wasn't super great, but I could hold it down on chords. So they would get me in there. So we would just do songs, and we would do remix production songs.
Hmm.
And one of the artists we worked on was Beyonce. But mind you, there were several artists in our, on our roster, we had uh, maybe Mariah Carey, maybe John Legend,
Mm.
Mary J. Blige, and this time it was, Beyonce. And we turned the record in, and as a result of turning the record in, um, the actual record won a Grammy.
Oh,
And
right.
along with that, the guy that produced the record for the remix, it won a Grammy.
Mm.
So she gets one for the original record and one for the remix production, if she has it on her wall. So,
Wow.
yeah, so
Wow.
we got it for the remix, the best. It was called Best Remix Production.
All right. All right. Now, how'd that make you feel after it's like, man, this
Oh,
just popped out the blue on me?
I was, I was cool.
Oh, man.
I
So,
was cool.
what kind of advice would you give to the artists and the musicians and singers and so forth out there who looking to, who really would like to go down that route or down that road to Grammys and so forth? Because it's really like it's like anything else. Even on your regular job, they might give you a certificate for doing this, that, and the other. It just makes you feel great and knowing that you're doing some really important work and very good work.
Oh
You
yeah,
know.
yeah. Well, today's music industry is different. It's not the same. So
Hmm.
I don't know. The advice still applies. Where, as for me, we would write letters. Today, you can just send an email.
Yes, or a text. You get the right number.
Yeah, you can, and through social media sites, you could
Hmm.
get these people right on the phone. So, um, advice now it's not necessarily out the window, but it's just being persistent.
Hmm.
I use the three P's: prayer, persistence, and patience.
Mm, that's
Excuse me.
good.
And so what I do with those is that I'm able to communicate with people all
Hmm.
the time. So if they say no, it's okay because
Yes.
the challenge is, okay, you told me no, then I'm not going to shut down. I'm gonna go to another person that's gonna say yeah.
Right, right, right. I totally feel that. Totally feel that.
A lot of reading, technology, the book, the whatever they're into. If they're into music production, like I read a lot on what trends, what music software to get, what's the latest microphone to buy, whatever, anything that's relating to my craft, I pick it
Mm-hmm.
up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, there you go. There you go. And
Hmm.
even with the reading things now, that's so digital too. You can just you just get that in your email box too, and then take it and walk around and read it on breaks or whatever like that.
Hmm.
Wow, wow. So what is up for you now? What's your plans here for this New Year? You don't have to give us all the stuff. You
Hmm.
got to keep things a secret sometimes, but what's up for Rob Diggy for this year?
Well, my biggest plan coming up is I'm scheduled to score the Family Business season 6.
Oh,
That's
right.
that's my biggest thing right now. I do have other projects I'm working on. In fact, a little later on, I'm doing a film out in LA, and I do a lot of films out of Los Angeles. I've done 3 in the last month or two.
All right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking. Let me get a little bit of all right. Let's just rub some of that off.
Yep, that's what I'll be doing. So today I'll be working on one of them again, and
Hmm.
I enjoy doing what I do.
Yes, I know you do because it's your passion, man. It's just part of who you are,
Oh
you
yeah,
know. And to have that opportunity to be able to do that and do it full time, that's not my.
oh yeah, it's full time.
Come on, Jesus.
Yep,
I want
full
to do
time.
that thing full time. Well,
Mhm.
like I say, I like to do the entertainment thing full time, except on Sunday. Except on
Right.
Sunday.
Well,
Today's
I
day.
do it all. For me, it's Sundays after church.
Hmm.
I was in church 3 weeks ago.
Hmm.
I was in church and I was working on this film out of LA.
Hmm.
The lady says, "Oh, Rob, I like what you sent," because I sent her the draft of what I thought she would like, the
Hmm.
score, and she liked it. But I'm like, this is not the final. I need to go back and tweak it and
Speak it.
no. Mhm. She was like, no, 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 we need to send this to Cannes like right away. When can you get it? And I'm like, oh wow. So I had to go home during church
Yes.
and make a file and copy and send it to her so she could get it over to, and she got it into Cannes and she got accepted.
Oh man, that is
Mhm.
awesome. That is awesome. I just got an email about something. I think they have an awards coming up or whatever like that. So, and
Mhm.
another friend of mine, I think her cousin had a project in there. She was from New York and they had a short
Mhm.
film. So I'm just like, things like this just so excite me to actually see and talk to the physical people,
Yeah.
who are involved in these things and who really moving and shaking, making different things happen, in their careers and in their lives because it just lets you know how possible it still is,
Hmm.
even for you while you might be in your position and watching them grow and stuff like that,
Hmm.
it is still possible. And it's very possible by a lot of the things that you guys say, you know.
Oh yeah, I was telling
Well, man, I don't know. Is there anything else you want the people to know about you? Where you're going to be at? How to contact you? Oh, if they need you to go ahead and score something, films,
you.
TVs, documentaries, commercials, any of those things.
I do all
This
those
is
things.
this is the this
I
is
do
the
all,
man.
I do all those things. Plus, I'm doing a lot of AI projects for people as well,
Hmm.
taking their AI songs and turning them, taking the production and doing new music on top of the AI song. So that's one thing I'm doing.
Wow.
The other thing is that I'm working with little, small kids in terms of showing them production, things like that.
There we go. There we
Piano,
go.
drum
Hmm.
machine, stuff like that.
Hmm.
And then you can reach me on Instagram under Rob Diggy, cut and dry Rob Diggy, or you can Google me, Rob
Hmm.
Diggy. It all comes up. My IMDb is Rob Diggy or Rob Diggy Morrison
Rob D. Morrison.
on IMDb. I don't know. I didn't add that. Somebody added that for me. It's just been there. I haven't touched
Hmm. Hmm.
it.
Hmm.
I'm available. I work with any budgets, and I mean as long as it's understand
Reasonable. Hmm.
we can work and we can work it out. I mean if it's a free project, but you have to put something on the books. I need
Yes.
my light bill got to be paid, or my phone bill. I
You're like,
know,
look, let me send you a copy of this phone bill.
I know it's a passion project, but send me something,
Yes.
some
Yes.
Grubhub or something,
Hmm.
I work
Hmm.
with. I know sometimes people just don't have it,
Hmm.
but normally people that do, we talking about some nice budgets. So I want a nice piece of that change.
Hmm. 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 Well, there you have it. There you have it, Mr. Rob Diggy Morrison doing his thing out there. And I see you got the little Dubai hat on. Did you happen to traipse over there?
Yeah, hanging out.
Oh man, that's what I'm talking about. That's on my list. That's on my bucket list. One of the places I want to go.
Gotta get there. It's
Dubai.
beautiful.
Got to check it out.
Very, very beautiful place to be.
I definitely want to see that. Definitely want to see it for myself. And I know you're telling the truth. So, because I've seen a
Yeah.
couple of pictures, but to hear from a live person that's
Uh-huh.
been over there, you see the reality shows and people doing stuff. It's like you want to see it yourself. So,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
thank you so much, Rob, for being on the show. I appreciate you so much for coming and
Yeah.
your expertise and what you do. And y'all
Mhm.
listen now. I
Mhm.
mean, you're not gonna get this kind of information, but at conferences, seminars, and things like that, because this
Yeah.
guy, he is busy, busy.
Uh-huh.
I snagged him today.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Because I
you
was
still, you
resting.
still on, you still on,
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
and
yeah.
it worked. It worked. But thank you guys for watching so much. This is Stephanie D. Sanders. You can always reach out to me on social media under Stephanie D. Sanders. And this is Docu-Series, the autobiographies of some very interesting people. We will see you the next time. Peace.
Peace. Peace.